Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my 2025 OHL Playoff Preview. This has been a video that I have been anticipating to make for a while now, and I'm really excited that time has came to finally make it. So, grab a snack and relax and enjoy this playoff preview and, I guess, prediction video as well. And now we will start off here in the West with the first seed, the London Knights, taking on the Owen Sound Attack. The Knights went 55-11-2 for 112 points, dominating the league once again. For the Attack, they went 26-35-4-3 for 59 points. And you have to give them some credit for battling back and beating out Sarnia for that last spot. And that came right down to the last game. They got a big win over Guelph. And the games they had to win, including that one against Guelph, they won. And the season series was pretty lopsided, London winning every meeting. However, one did go to a shootout, thanks to Carter George dominating that game. But the last game between these two, London did win 9-1 despite going 0-for-5 on the power play. On the power play this season, they did go 27.5% and 84.9% on the penalty kill, while the Attack only went 15.8% on the power play and 81.8% on the penalty kill. The Knights scored the most goals in the league and gave up the least, showing just how dominant they really are. Owen Sound scored 211 goals and gave up 253. The Knights are led by San Jose first-round pick Sam Dickinson with a record-setting among Knights defensemen for points with 91. And I won't go through the whole roster, but I mean, this team is just so loaded. Sam O'Reilly had a slow start, but he has performed and picked it up, ending with 71 points. Easton Cowan, Denver Barkey, Halton, Bonk are other guys you just cannot not mention in this video. And on the Owen Sound side, they are led by overager Landon Hookie, who had 70 points, not 78, in 68 games. And then rookie Pierce Mabuyu with 52 points. And the game one starter will be Carter George, and I imagine Austin Elliott, although we might see the Knights rotating in that first round. But for George, he had a 3.35 goals against average and a .909 save percentage through 47 games, and Austin Elliott posted an just insane 32-1 record with a .924 save percentage and a 2.10 goals against average. It's going to be an interesting battle between the Pipes in this series, but that is just that. The only thing the Attack have a chance in here is their goaltending and Carter George. And with the Knights' special teams experience, offense, defense, it dominates Owen Sound. I think Owen Sound can battle and put in maybe a couple 1-goal, 2-goal games, but at the end of the day, Knights in 4. And game 1 is Friday at Canada Life Place, and on to the next series, where we have Windsor. The Windsor Spitfires taking on the Sioux Greyhounds in a 2-7 seeds here. Windsor went 45-17-4-2 for 96 points, and Sioux went 29-35-2-2 for 62 points. And they finished the season strong, going 6-3-0-1. In their last 10 games, that got them into a playoff position, and they are on a 5-game heater right now. The season series was in favor of Windsor, winning 4-2. If the Greyhounds want to win, they're going to have to play great defensively, which they struggled to do as of late against the Spitfires. And the Spitfires' power play was 24.7% this year, and their PK was 80.1, while the Greyhounds have 17.1 and 73.8. So he was also going to have to clean up that special teams if they want a chance in this series, because there is a big difference in that category between these two teams. And Windsor was third in goals for with 309, and they gave up 223, which is third in the conference. Greyhounds scored 226 and allowed 268. The leading scorers on the Windsor Spitfires are Ilya Protas with 124 points in 61 games, Capitals draft pick in his rookie year in the OHL. Liam Greenshear with 119 points. Kings draft pick Noah Morneau and Ryan Abraham with 66 points, or 73 points and 66 points. Nesbitt, Cristoforo, those are kind of their top guys. They have Davis Belchatz, Woodall, Spalacy, all in those upper 30 points. But this team is very solid. In net, of course, Costanzo, 892 save percentage. He's going to be that game 1 starter, I imagine. And for the Greyhounds, looking here at their goaltending, this is an interesting one. Both goaltenders have kind of struggled here. I imagine Nolan Lalonde gets the nod in game 1. Columbus draft pick and signee. He has an 893 save percentage and a 336 goals against average. So that'll be something to take note of. Marco Mignosa carried the Sioux offense a little bit. Him and Brady Martin, 85 points and 72 points. Brady Martin in that sophomore year. Jacob Cloutier and Noel Nord, who has been a big factor. He has 52 points in 47 games. Travis Hayes, Chase Reed, Brady Smith, Owen Allard, who's been a little bit quiet, but we'll see in playoffs. Caden Carlisle for the defense is really something to take note of also there. And I honestly think this can be a close series. It's going to be a real battle on who can have the more productive bottom 6 and who has the better, goaltending and defense. And if Windsor's top guys can get going, Windsor wins. But so for my prediction, I'm going to go with maybe a slightly hot take here. I'm going to go Windsor in 6 games. I just have that feeling that their D slips up a little bit against the Sioux, maybe. It's a first round, getting into playoffs, and especially Sioux going on a 5-game heater. They've played really good lately, so we will see. And on to the next one where we have the 3 versus 6 matchup in Kitchener and Flint. And Kitchener, 47-15, 4-2 with 100 points, and they're not in second, obviously, because Windsor won their division, so that puts them in second. I know that's something that I just figured out. And yeah, some of you might not know that. And Flint, 29-34, 2-3, 63 points. And despite unloading draft picks in hopes for competing in the West, Flint did have their struggles this season, and as of late going 3-7. And power plays 14.4% and 77.6%. On the penalty kill. And Kitchener 7-2-0-1 in their last 10, 22% of the power play and 84.8% on the penalty kill. Kitchener has proved that they are competing for a championship this year, scoring 254 goals and giving up 183. Flint, on the other hand, may have disappointed in their results from this year. Something has just not clicked in this group, really, and they've scored 229 and gave up 249, and Kitchener is led by Adrian Miseljevic, who had 69 points. Trent Swick, which is a Las Vegas draft pick, as well as Jack Pridham. He's been a superstar for this team. He has 54 points in 48 games. Swick with 61 and 60. Reed, 54 points. Lamb, Romano, Elenos. Humphreys is a new addition who's playing well. And Jacob Chromiak on D. Andonovsky. This team is loaded up with a lot of depth. A lot of depth in net. Jackson Parsons, 37-12-3 record, 2.24 goals against, and 920 save percentage. And on the Flint side here, on paper they can be good. Petrie had 53, Thibodeau had 50, Aspinall 47. Clattenburg, Mania, their other draft picks, as well as Sam McHugh, who they brought in from Owen Sound. They just haven't really been getting the results they've been looking for in this group. And we'll see here if something can click. And Nathan Day here, 894 save percentage, 3.07 goals against, average 26-25-5 record. See if he can bounce back here in the playoffs. But with Kitchener here, in the season series between these two, 3 games did go to overtime, and every game was very close, and I think that might make it a very fun series. Kitchener doesn't have any incredible... they don't have the superstars like maybe Brampton or London has, but they have 7 to 8 elite players that consistently produce and play well on their own end. And Flint is a very solid team as well. As I said, they just have not got it done, so I might just go Kitchener in 4 games here. Hopefully Nathan Day can play well like he did against London last year, but we will see. Now, the defending Memorial Cup champions, the Saginaw Spirit, take on the Erie Otters. in a 4 versus 5 matchup. Saginaw rolling into this one with a 38-27 2-1 record for 79 points, and Erie 34-28 4-2, 74 points on the year. So these teams are separated by just 5 points. Both teams 6-4 in their last 10, and the Spirit with one of the best power plays in the league, operating at 27%, but their penalty kill is in the middle of the pack, 79.6%. The Otters, power play is at 21.5%. Their penalty kill is at 77.1. 6 goals were scored each time these teams played this season, with the latest being a 6-2 win for Saginaw. Before that, it was an 8-2 win for Erie. And these teams did split this season series 2-2. Looking at the Otters, firstly, they were led by Alfano and Femus. Femus with 86 points, Alfano with 84. Malcolm Spence had 73. Martin Misiak, 59. Edwards, 56. So a very deep team in scoring. Kerry Torrance as well. The interesting one for me is defense. How does defense match up between the two? Goaltending-wise, Noah Erlenden has outplayed Andrew Oak a lot. He has an .895 save percentage, 3.42 goals against average. While Andrew Oak, he has a .876 save percentage and a 3.80 goals against average. But he was bailed out this year by Misa, Perek, Mangoni, Epperson, and Chernyshov. Chernyshov, who I think right now is the best player in the league, 55 points in 23 games. It is unreal. San Jose second rounder, and Perek 107. Misa with a record, or maybe not a record, but maybe a record. He does have the record for most points in the Spirit jersey, I'd imagine. I think 134 points. Mangoni 83, Epperson 80. He's looked really good too. As well as Carson Harmer, Jacob Cloutier, Joey Willis got traded. Nick Sema, who is suspended, but they're going to miss him. But as I said, defense, who is going to have the better defense? I don't know if Saginaw can lose this first round just with that superstar talent up front and the experience coming from last year in the Memorial Cup. And I just can't see them getting bounced. I feel like Andrew Oak will play like he did last playoffs maybe. And it's tight. This is going to be a really close series. Could go either way, but I'm going to go Saginaw in 7 here. And Brantford is hosting North Bay in the first series in the Eastern Conference now. And coming into the series, 8-2 in their last 10 is Brantford with a season record of 44-19, 5-0 for 93 points. And North Bay 5-4-1-0 with a total of total record of 28-34-6 for 62 points. Brantford won the season series 3-1, but each game was decided by just 1 goal. And I'm looking at special teams here, and Brantford 28.2% on the power play and 82.9% on the PK. And that power play is the best in the league, and it is dangerous, especially with 70 goal scorer Nick Lardis on the ice. North Bay, they've had their plenty of power play struggles, especially lately, 18%, but their penalty kill is still up there at the top of the league at 81.7%. The Bulldogs scored 281 goals and gave up 221, and the Battalion scored 194 and allowed 252. So there is some lack of scoring that might come into play here, but in the season series, there were low-scoring games here, and if we look at North Bay, they don't have a lot of guys who put the puck in the net. Ethan Procession, 64 points in 68 games, and then Jacob LeBlanc on D with 52 and 68. Shamar Moses, 48 points, and Tarian with 38. So those are kind of their top guys. They're going to really rely on Mike McIver, who had a .910 save percentage, 2.86 goals against average, and I still think he's a very underrated goalie in this league. Still. And over in the opposition crease, we have Buffalo draft pick Ryerson Leaners, also with a .910 save percentage and a .311 goals against average. Nick Lardis led the team this year, 117 points, 71 goals. Chicago draft pick, it's insane to see that. Patrick Thomas, 104 points. Capitals draft pick. Draft eligible Jake O'Brien, 98 points. Cole Brown, 70 points. Thomas Hamara, 55 points. Van Acker, 42. Protz, 32. They get a lot of good depth scoring as well. So this is a very scary team. A lot of NHL draft picks. And a lot of NHL draft picks that are producing offense as well. But yeah, Mike McIver, he's going to have to be good to win this series. But at the end, Ryerson Leaners, he's also another great goalie, and this team is just loaded in Brantford. And I think North Bay's a little bit outmatched. I think McIver steals one, and then we go Brantford in 5 games. Barrie Colts, Niagara Ice Dogs. Simply, I have Barrie in 4. They had a record this year of 42, 20, and 2-2. And they're 6-4 in their last 10. Niagara 2-7-1 in their last 10. And I think Barrie just outmatches them. The season series was really swayed to Barrie. I'm not going to get into this too much. Flores is going to have to play incredible. Top guys, Rubric, they're going to have to play amazing as well. But this is a Barrie team that's contending for a championship, as well as this next team we're going to be getting into here. And that is the Kingston Frontenacs as the 3rd seed and playing the 6th seed Sudbury Wolves. Kingston put up a 40-25-3 record, scoring 281 goals and giving up 232. 5-5 in their last 10, and for Sudbury, they are also 5-5 in their last 10, 32-31, 5-0 on the year. And they've scored 245 goals and gave up 269. The season series was split 1-1. These teams only played each other twice, for some reason. Don't ask me. For first game was a 7-2 win for Kingston, but game 2 was 10-6 for Sudbury. So some high scoring games between the two, and you can't exactly get a feeling about how this goes just based off that, right? So Sudbury, and another feeling. Sudbury, I feel like either got pumped every game or did the pumping every game, if you know what I'm saying. And Kingston's power play was at 25.6%, and penalty kill is at 77.7%. Sudbury power play 23.8%. Penalty kill 79.1%. Kingston is... I really like their roster this year. They've done some good moves, and guys have played very well, especially Battaglia, Euronen, Guendon. That's their top 3 right there. Battaglia, Euronen, Guendon. 90 points, 85. Euronen and Battaglia draft picks. Then Emil Piamenemi, their top defenseman, 60 points. Ethan Miedema, a big power forward, 57 points. Hopkins, Burns. I really like their defense this year. They are very solid, and it can push them. The only question mark I have for the Frontenacs is, can their goaltending get them there? Charlie Schenkel has an .873 save percentage. Vicari has an .886. I imagine he starts. He is 11-4-4. He's played very. He hasn't played maybe where they want him to play, but he has played solid, especially last year's playoffs against the North Bay Battalion. For Sudbury, they have some superstars: Kieran Walton, Villeneuve, Musty, Ferrand, all NHL draft picks. Kieran Walton, 92 points. Villeneuve, 70. Musty, 59 and 33. They also have Coach Adelic and Chase Coughlin. On D, DeAngelis, Muse, McCoy. So their D is also pretty stacked up a little bit here. Goaltending-wise, Nathan Krawchuk, he's played solid. He's played 47 games, 901 save percentage, 3.45 goals against. He's going to have to be big if Sudbury wants a chance, but I don't think Sudbury has the depth that Kingston does. Kingston might be the deepest team in the conference, and I think Kingston's just too stacked and played great this season. So I think Kingston in 5 games. And last but definitely not least is the defending champions from last year. Not defending champions. Defending Eastern Conference champions, the Oshawa Generals, where in net they got Jacob Oster, and he had a .904 save percentage this year. Maybe he wants to bump that up in the playoffs. Last year he played outstanding. And Seneca, Morelli, Ritchie, 70 points, 74, 86. Seneca, 86, Morelli, Ritchie, you know what I'm saying. Kobe Barlow also with 61 and 62. But this team's also quite deep. Defensively, I don't know. Andrew Gibson was a big acquisition. He's going to boost that D so much more. And this is a playoff team as well, and they're playing Brantford. You look at them, right? They have some absolute stars. Raykopf, Martone, and in net they have Ivan Kovic, who is a .903 save percentage, but Gillespie's also played well too. So I imagine it's Ivan Kovic's net, but we will see. And Martone, 98 points, Raykopf, 86, 42 goals. Luke Misa, he's played very well too, 85 points. Finn Harding on D, he's had a bit of a breakout season. Agnes McDonnell, he's going to be playing for the Dallas Stars potentially next year, or their AHL affiliate, but he had 54 points, and so that does dip off a little bit, but they still have a great top 9, and Spencer Sova also on D, Jacob Fibiger. Their D is stacked too. This is a coin toss of a series, really. Whose goaltender can play better? And man, I really don't know. But I think the way Oshawa's built and their playoff success last year, I'm just going to throw it out there and put Oshawa in 6 games. Season series was tied 2-2. Special teams is somewhat similar for both. Oshawa's is better. Mississauga doesn't have a great penalty kill, but Brampton is really hot right now. I don't know. I'm going to go Oshawa 6 games. Just a feeling. Just a feeling I have. They've played very well in close games, so we will see. And here is my final. This is my full predictions here. It's not very kind to the eyes, but I ultimately have the London Knights going to the final and taking on the Barrie Colts. And I have London winning that one in 5 games. But yeah, second round we'll go through at London. I have London in 4 beating Saginaw. London is just too dominant, and they have the defense and goaltending. Saginaw doesn't. Kitchener-Windsor. Kitchener, I've seen both teams play a fair amount, and when it comes down to it in playoff hockey, I like Kitchener. And just the way they move the puck well, and they control the puck better than Windsor, I find. I feel like Windsor is a bit of a run-and-gun type of style of play, and Kitchener will win that one in 6. Brantford, Oshawa. I'm going Brantford in 5. Their team is just playing so good, and they also, another big factor, they dominated Oshawa in the season series. And Kingston, Barrie, I do have Barrie in 7. This is another coin flip. I don't know. It came down to goaltending for me. And then Knights in 5, they're a wagon. So those are my predictions and previewing the, I guess first round. We'll do kind of a second round preview as well, but those are my predictions for the playoffs, and I hope you guys liked it. Subscribe. This is a bit of a longer one. It took me a long time to edit this. I haven't even started, but I just know it will. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next video.